like to call to order the Board of Safety public meeting agenda for Wednesday, September 22nd, 2020. If we could please rise and pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Josh Gobert.
Present.
Jim Olthoff.
Present.
Dave Villalobos.
Present.
Norm Stick is still not present. Charlie Caper.
Present.
Ralph Miller.
Present.
Bill Fisher is absent. Todd Wilkening.
Here.
Carl Brittingham.
Here.
And Nick Mager is absent.
Yep. Okay, I have to call for public comment 3 times, public comment once, twice, 3 times. Being none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes of Wednesday, August 25th, 2021. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
A motion from Dave. Is there a second?
Yep.
From Josh, I have a second. Any questions? All those in favor of passing the minutes, please say aye, or let's have a roll call vote, I'm sorry.
Okay. Josh Gobert.
Yes.
Jim Olthoff.
Yes.
Dave Villalobos.
Yes.
Norm Stick. Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Communications on police department.
This came in last minute, so it wasn't on there, but the fire department had the same thing. Everybody's aware of the active shooter call at the Lake Central Schools on September 8th. So the police chief of the St. John Police Department sent the chief of police a very nice letter thanking us for our response to that incident. It's up to you if you want me to read the whole letter
No,
here now.
I don't think you want to hear the whole letter.
It's a thank you letter for our response, thanking us for responding, and it's really just it.
And a quick,
It's exactly that.
a quick question on that. How did that work coordinating with the other agencies? Everyone came from everywhere. How did that?
It actually really worked extremely well, especially considering that the response was overwhelming, like probably 150 cops and everything else. I mean, the response went well. The communication was probably better than anticipated. There are some things that need to be worked on and tweaked, and what's happening is, what already happened was a meeting to discuss those things, to critique those things and to tighten those things up. But I think that the response was just went very well. It was very well coordinated, considering that this is the largest school in the county, and probably had the most first responder response that any incident's going to have because of its location, centralized location, and agencies willing to respond and help out. So
I was just wondering how just the line of responsibilities were established and everybody got set up, and
it did.
That's fantastic.
It went really well.
Good to hear.
Do you guys use like the incident command system like fire? You have some sort of incident command?
Yes.
Like a commander,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who sets up this,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Perfect. Good to hear.
Probably the county, did the county come in, or?
Oh, yeah. But they didn't, they don't take over.
No.
Well, those are the best training you can have.
Do you have any communications, Todd, or?
There's a lot of things that, yeah, we could work on. But
Yeah.
that everybody's getting together to iron out those. The incident command system is used more by the fire than it is the police. Police are, in those cases, their job is to respond, and our job is to set the command structure up. So there was a lot of people there, a lot of police, a lot of fire. So yeah, it was a very good learning event. I'm glad nobody got hurt, and there's always room for improvement. So.
All right. Any communications on the fire department?
Yeah, we got the same letter from
Right,
St. John.
anything other
Exact
than
same
that?
letter, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, staffing,
I'm actually doing this as a different one. That's a different one.
staffing, staffing.
Nothing new on our staffing. We got Sue in the academy.
Okay,
Um,
how are they doing?
going okay.
Okay,
They're doing firearms this week. And, that's it.
okay, staffing at the fire station.
Okay, the fire department staffing, we have one in paramedic school right now that'll be finishing here, and will be a full-fledged paramedic in January, which was budgeted to up him from an EMT to a paramedic. I have two more EMTs on our staff right now that are gonna be going to paramedic school next year. We haven't figured out how we're gonna do that yet with two guys going at the same time, but we're hoping to get that full-time person to be able to help with that, so they can go to school, and that'll increase. For you guys' information, they also have to sign that same agreement that the police sign when you send them to academy and, reimbursement if they leave within a certain period of time. So they've agreed to do that.
Do you know what that amount is?
6,000, I think, Charlie, off the top of my head, I think that's what it is.
I mean, I didn't know what it costs to go to the academy, so.
Well, this isn't the academy, this is paramedic school.
School.
It's 6,500 for paramedic school, yes, I know that much. And then it's 1,500, I think, for EMT school. And we offer that to our volunteers as well as our full-time people. Well, our full-time people have to be EMTs and paramedics, I'm
So
sorry.
we have $8,000 in it without,
Yeah. Yeah, a paramedic will be, that and also shift coverage for while they're in school. That's part of our overtime.
okay,
So we have two, and then the ultimate goal with staffing is if we can hire two more next year, each shift will have 4. We run a part-timer on each shift as well, we'll have 5 per shift. When somebody goes off, we drop down to 4 minimum staffing, and the overtime, a big percentage of it goes away. That's our ultimate goal.
that would be great.
Yep.
Quick, question on staffing.
Yes,
Ben. You sent out a memo on the hospitals and their capacity.
Mhm.
What's
What's going on with the hospitals, right?
with that?
Okay, what's going on with the hospitals right now, they're pretty much all on bypass. Every single day, all day. If you go out in my truck right now and look on Spillman, there'll be, every single hospital in Northwest Indiana will be on bypass. So what that means is no hospital's on bypass. So if they're all on bypass, you go to the nearest facility. What the problem is, what's happening with the hospitals obviously they get overwhelmed with COVID and all these other incidents, but they're having a staffing problem themselves, which means they can't staff respiratory, or they can't staff, their cath labs or whatever, and they're pulling people to those areas as well. Another thing they're doing is they're now advertising amongst the paramedic group that we use to come and work for the hospital, which it hurts us as well. We understand their pain, that they're trying to do that as well. Also, a hospital in Northwest Indiana shut down, in Hammond. So, St. Margaret Mercy North shut down. It's only running in ER right now, and it's eventually gonna be completely shut down.
Really?
Well, we're hearing that St. Anthony's is going to start doing pod hospitals, meaning each hospital will have it'll be a little smaller, they'll all have ERs, but they'll be specialized hospitals. So if you have a stroke, you go to this hospital, or you go to the nearest hospital and they transfer you to that hospital, because that's what they specialize. So we're hearing that that's one of the things that they're doing, are gonna do. We understand that the hospital in Crown Point that's being rebuilt is going to be the big hospital for the region when it comes to, beds and stuff as well. And that's gonna be done here in the next, I think they got another year and a half building that. There will be some road improvements, and there will be a road that will extend out over I-65, straight out on 129th, is it? I can't remember which road, but they're acquiring property right now to be able to make that more of a, it's 129, yeah, you're right. And to make it a better, straighter shot for us, so our turnaround time will be a little less. But right now, the average ambulance call, if it's a critical call, you know, it's an hour for the call. So from the time the call comes in, the time we package them, get them to the hospital, and get back in service, get back into Cedar Lake Fire District, it's an hour, right now, with our hospitals that we use. If we gotta go that much further, it puts us out even more. And with the hospitals being on bypass, if one of them is not on bypass, then we have to go to that hospital, unless it's critical, okay? So if somebody calls and they're having a headache and it's not really severe, the community hospital is the only one off bypass, we gotta take them to Munster. Which, you're talking an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute turnaround time from the time the call comes in, go to Munster, drop them off, come all the way back, our rig is out of service that long. Hence the reason why the extra staffing is more important nowadays, so. Did that answer your question, Dave?
Mhm.
Okay. But we're trying to encourage people not to go to the hospital if you don't have to go to the hospital, you know. In the past, it was like, everybody went to the hospital for everything. Now it's to the point where you realize if we take you to the hospital and it's something minor, they're gonna take you off our cot and stick you in a chair in a triage room. So by calling us isn't gonna get you in to see a doctor any faster anymore. It used to be that way, but not anymore. They're triaging those people and what they've been doing is making them sit on our cot. And our guys stand there for half an hour going, where are you gonna put this person? Because we can't keep them on our cot, we need to get back in service. So those are some things that are happening within the hospital system right now. In which they're doing the best they can with the amount of people they have. They're having a hard time staffing people too. So it's a little bit of a crisis.
Okay.
Alrighty, finance, police department. Let's do one thing.
Ready?
This is for the new cars?
No, you're on purchase orders, right?
Yeah.
So the purchase orders, as you can see, they're, for the month of August, we had some equipment, siren replacement, uniforms for VIPs, unit 115, radiator, driver's side door, panel switch, new employee business cards, VIPs vehicle repairs, and then more uniform expenses there on that page. It was $2,349.76. We have more vehicle repairs, brakes, targets for qualifications for firearms, training pads, vehicle repairs again there, weapons charge there for the pistols, tourniquets that we purchased that we needed, lockout kits, and more uniform expenses, $2,776.07.
So on these uniform, it says chaplain uniforms?
Yeah.
Is that, are two chaplains? And it's $1,300.
Oh, yeah. Those are Class A uniforms.
Yes.
And how long are those good for until they don't fit them anymore?
Well, I'm not, yeah.
Is this all for chaplains uniforms? though?
No.
Or is it other?
No, there's hat badges, 55, 56, and chaplains together, so that's what I'm seeing on my sheet.
But then the other one's $653 for chaplains uniforms.
Yeah, that's all chaplain uniform.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last page I didn't get to yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, then the last page, some DARE banners, again, some vehicle repairs, which was a pretty big one. $1,683 on probably the oldest car that we have in service right there. And then, uniform expense there, again, another expense on tourniquets, and then, of course, the chaplain uniforms that you referred to.
And then those tourniquets were underwritten by somebody, weren't they?
Yes.
Did letters get sent out to the donor for that money?
Okay. That's it for us.
Thank you. Okay, Todd, what kind of expenses did you have?
Well, we only have one expense that was put in this month so far, and that was for, the TV monitors, the mounts, the computers and stuff, all for the additional work being done to the station. For $2,600 total. We have an office upstairs now to where there's sleeping quarters there now, by the sleeping quarters, so they don't have to run all the way downstairs to try to, answer a radio, and the monitors for the TVs are for the Spillman, and, I am responding, 2 of them are, and then the other ones are for the bunk rooms, a couple of bunk rooms, but we have extra TVs as well, so we're reusing them.
Okay,
Also, our uniform stuff, we got a bunch of uniform stuff too coming up next month. Just to let you know, this is the time of year we start buying sweatshirts, polos, winter coming. Our clothing allowance is only $300, so our guys, what I make them do is you bring me your boots that are wore out, then we'll buy another set of uniform boots. And that's when we start doing that. We had to upgrade some of our Class A's. We also pay for the Class A's for our volunteers, which we have a few that didn't have them. So you'll see that, hats, gloves, all kinds of stuff for the winter.
so the $300 allowance that they get is for their extra, it's not their uniform or their
It's for
firefighting,
whatever they want to spend it on, far as,
but it does
like,
include that.
any type of polos and stuff like that.
I mean, that's just extra stuff, it's not
Yeah,
their
like daily wear, yeah.
uniform.
Yeah, not their Class A uniform, no. The Class A uniform is,
Provided.
$1,000.
Correct.
So do they have any obligation as far as uniforms go, or does the company buy it?
Do they have any what?
Obligation to purchase any of their own equipment?
We buy it.
We buy it.
The department buys?
Yeah, we buy it. As
Okay.
far as, but they have the $300 allowance to replace their if they have to replace something that gets tore up, they got the money to do it. But everything else, we supply them with uniforms, and we supply them with, work boots, and then obviously the firefighting gear is all paid for by the town.
Okay.
We have a very small allowance, so.
Alrighty, old business policies update, fire department, Lexipol, that's gonna be next meeting.
Those policies you should see here this week, I'll send them all to you. Please, if you have any questions on any of them, don't hesitate to come and see me, call me, text me, email me, because we spend a lot of time on these, so.
Do we have no old business police department?
No.
Okay, equipment updates, police, cars. No, because we're not gonna adopt it,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's the poll.
So the, police vehicles, one of them's at we picked up one Dodge Durango a couple weeks ago from the Dodge dealer. It's at the, PDS Outfitter, but it's sitting because they're another business that has 3 employees working right now. So we don't really, they couldn't give us a date. It did get striped up there, so it has the graphics on it now. So when it is finally outfitted, it'll be in service. The other 2 vehicles, were the other Durangos, we're hoping to have those by the end of the month or this next month. The truck now has a build date of,
Can we get
June
from next year?
June of next year, whatever that means. So, yeah, it's
3 people working there.
3 people.
Mhm.
So who gets the truck?
That'll be Dave Moe.
So he doesn't really,
It's not big deal. The problem isn't who's getting the new vehicle. The
No,
problem is-
I just meant, is it someone that's got a junk car or that needs to have something replaced
Oh, no.
quickly?
No, but see, it's equally as important because the vehicles we're replacing now are gonna go to
The newer
the newer people, because we don't have any extra.
Well, I was just concerned with this being a year out, that it was going to a car that had X amount of miles where someone's out on the road jeopardizing their life.
Oh, no.
So,
not-
I mean, not that Dave doesn't jeopardize his life, but he's mostly in school.
No, his vehicle is not giving us problems,
Okay,
so no.
But when he's not at the school, he's down the street.
correct. Anything else on purchase repairs or purchases, updates?
No, that's it.
Okay. Todd, do you have any purchase?
Yeah, just that our Explorer should be.
Oh, you know what, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Let's finish with police on this
Okay.
side. Repair updates, probably nothing, right?
No, nothing substantial.
And anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, now it's Todd's turn.
Okay, so the new Explorer, I was told, Billy told me the other day that probably end of October, we should be getting it, but once again, it's gonna go to the same place to try to get outfitted and we'll get in line, so God only knows when we're gonna get it as well, to get it done.
And this is the chase car?
The Chase car that's gonna replace the Tahoe with 189,000 miles, the rusted out Tahoe.
What's gonna happen to that Tahoe?
The VIPS is gonna get it, I guess the Public Works is going to repaint it and do some work to it, the mechanic, where they have a four-wheel drive vehicle that they don't have to respond fast in it, so it'll be something they can use in the wintertime if they needed to. And that, it's totally up to them, whatever they wanna do with it. I know I'm surrendering it. The equipment repairs, we had a pretty good sized repair to our rescue truck. The batteries, one of the batteries actually boiled over and almost blew up on us. We took it up to fire service. We found out that it was back feeding back into the system from the generator. So there was an electrical problem with the truck, so we had that taken care of. The older engine had some work done to it, another, I don't remember, $1,200, I think. That'll all be coming out in next month's POs. The ambulance had a little bit of damage, the new ambulance from a minor accident, so that it already got fixed as far as the piece that's broke, we fixed it, actually today it came in. And we have a garage door that needs to be repaired because we backed into it. What else is going on? This is the time of year that we need to get the tornado sirens in our community serviced. So I'll be asking the council what to do with that again, because that does not come out of our budget. The council pays for that, and then the township pays for the township one. So that's coming up.
How many sirens do we have in town?
We have 3 in town, and we have 1 in the township.
Okay, thank you.
And we handle the maintenance for the one in the township, but the bills are all sent to the township trustee.
For their siren.
For their siren, yeah. The new tanker that's on order, I talked to Midwest Fire a couple weeks ago. We have a number, so we're a number now. That truck and has a chassis, so we have a build number, which they're still planning on delivery in March.
Great.
So I think that's it for us.
Archer 2022. Repair updates, you've kind of taken care of that. Building renovation updates.
Okay, so good news is that we're gonna be moving upstairs Saturday. So the upstairs will be done by Saturday, and everybody will be, that crew that works that Saturday is going to be doing all the installation of all the beds and the computer stuff, and Cliff has already been there and pre-wired everything that needed to be done. I don't know what we'd do without that guy, but we better to follow him up and keep him forever. He's worked with us fantastic, running all the technology stuff that needs to be run upstairs, so that'll be ready to go. We'll be setting some computers up upstairs, setting some monitors up, moving the beds up there. I have to order some lockers. I talked to the school is, in their renovation, they're gonna be possibly throwing out some really good lockers. So we may be the recipient of those. They said that they didn't have to see a problem donating those to the fire department if we need them. So I'm kinda waiting to see what they're gonna have available. It's gonna be decent before I do an inventory. We've done an inventory, we know what we need, but, you know, the lockers are $500, $600, $700, $800 a piece for the total body lockers for each person, or each room. So, I wanna see if we can save some money by getting the school to donate them. The downstairs will start on Monday. We will not have a kitchen. All the appliances are at the fire station, but they're out in the truck base, the new ones, and they are telling me that October 31st, Halloween, we should be done. I'm anticipating 2 weeks after that. We will not be having our October Fire Prevention Week open house because of the renovation work and pancake breakfast, but what we would like to do is do another open house later, once everything is done. Maybe it might even be in November or December, so everybody can come and see it and invite the public. So, that renovation work is in full throttle. The back communications, or the back room that's gonna be turned into a training room. The volunteers have raised money for that room to become the volunteer room as well, so we can put all the fire department memorabilia back there. And, you know, and our nice plaques and our nice pictures and all the old stuff, like a little museum little area, you know, and then we can do our training and stuff. They raised $17,000 to add to the project. So when you come into the fire station in the future, and you come into the ambulance phase, where we used to have all of our bunker gear in that one little room before you walked in there, that will be closed off right there. That wall will be redone. There'll be a door there, there'll be a desk. You'll be greeted there. If you hit the door button, you'll be greeted there. Sandy will come and meet you there. She'll have a desk and a computer there, so that you don't ever come past that to do fire department business, because of the COVID and the spread of, communicable diseases. So the public will have to stop there. If they need to meet with the chief, I can come and meet with them at that location too, or after we make sure that that person is there for business with me, they can come to my office. But we want to limit the traffic through the day area, the kitchen area, and obviously the upstairs sleeping quarters will be obviously all limits to the public. So, but what I want to do is obviously have all of you and all, you know, the public come take a look at the whole place and see what we've done with a limited amount of money. And I think everybody will be pleased. The upstairs just turned out beautiful for what we had to spend, so.
And how much did we spend totally? $146,000.
$146,000.
I thought did you go get 20,000 more from RDC?
Yes, I'm sorry, $166,000, I forgot that. No, the RDC paid the $66,000, the town pitched in $100,000.
So it's a total of 160.
Yeah, right around there, so.
Well, I just was curious.
Yeah, yeah, right
I thought the
there.
bid was 140 to begin with.
No,
From Dickey Hand.
well, that was the bid, yeah, but we went and got money.
Well, I don't,
from
yeah, but I mean,
RDC.
the original bid was.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I wasn't, yeah.
So we're only 20,000 over budget.
Well, actually, we're not over budget, we added things,
Okay,
so,
well, whatever.
and that we needed to do while we had.
Stairs.
That building, when we started tearing in that building, we found out that the good old days when we built a fire station, when the good old guys that built the fire station
Well, they had to work with what they had, so.
did good old things that, you know, it's a very old building. It was built in the 20s, you know. So,
All right.
that's it.
Other, anything? Your gala was a success?
For what?
Your gala down?
Our fireman's ball was a success. We raised, I think it was $14,000, $16,000. Yeah,
What do you do with that?
it goes to equipment, yeah. Well, the association has their own budget, and then what we have to do is, we have to, if I wanna buy something from that account, the way it's set up is that the association will pay 80%, but 20% of it has to come out of the budget, the town's budget.
But the association account is totally you, there's nothing to do with.
It's nothing to do with the town, it's a
Separate
association.
entity.
Yeah, it's just a fundraising association, and it's got its own board. I'm not even a part of it. The only thing I do is ask them for money, or ask them for something. They buy, they just bought us an ice machine that we needed, because our ice machine took a major dump. They bought 2 chainsaws, I think, last year that we needed. Now they're gonna help us with this last renovation project and make it a really nice training room. So we can even share it with the police. It'll be a nice room they'll have technology in it that's gonna be pretty cool, so.
Okay. Training, police.
So for August, mobile data operations research, that's the computers in the cars. Chief Stickle, myself, we got a drug cartel class. It was a 2-day class at Porter County. Kilgore and Stickle went to that class. And then there's a Jasper County Police Department coordinator class, which was Harry Presti of Missouri. So for last month, we have 40 hours of training.
Okay.
So that cartel has to teach you how to be pro.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any training other than?
Yeah, we had lots of
people
training.
list?
You can see the list. It's a lot of daily training. We have, our paramedics are going through their yearly, what's called PALS training, which is our PPLS training for kids. We delivered another baby, by the way, last week, bouncing baby boy. I'm sorry, bouncing baby girl, which she thought was a boy. And she said,
Need more training.
we told her. Somebody does. It was funny because she said, I'm not supposed to be having a girl. I'm supposed to have a boy. But yeah, we delivered another baby. She was healthy, and it was kind of weird because we had a very odd day. We had the shooting, or not shooting, but the potential school shooting. We delivered a baby, and then we had a full arrest with somebody passing later. So, when the good Lord gave us one, the good Lord took us one away. The same day.
All right, monthly reports.
All right, so incidents assisting other agencies, 138. Related to citizens, 525. Incidents related to juveniles, 13. 0 homicides, ordinances, 78. Persons, 71. Property, 29. And traffic related, 444, with a total of 1,298 for the month. And we have 97 state citations, 13 town citations related to traffic, and 10 related to ordinances, for a total of 120 citations, 244 state violation warnings, 8 of them related to traffic, 17 related to ordinances, and a total of 269. For the arrests, we had a total of 17, 29 charges filed, 17 misdemeanors, 9 felonies, and 3 warrants.
Do we have an ordinance officer in the town now, or,
No.
so it's relying on the police department only?
Yes.
Is that gonna be resolved next year?
possibly.
at our end or
It's in the budget, I think it's
in our budget or in,
our budget,
okay.
part-time, 20, our budget.
I was just
Which
curious.
is part of the town budget, it's included in.
Well, but I thought the town, didn't that, when they hired someone, did they hire someone in the building department to be part inspector, part ordinance officer, or am I mistaken?
I believe he's just doing building.
But he's also doing unsafe building with me now too, so.
Okay. Monthly reports, do you have, that were-
I have 171 calls for the month, as you can see on our list.
Are we out of order here?
I don't know.
I think
I'm
so.
Yeah, the sheets look,
What?
the fire department should have went first,
yeah,
so I was out of order.
so what page should we be on now for his report?
He's got-
27?
Should have.
26, 27?
171 calls for the month, that is a very high number.
Oh, you're
for us.
using the same form now as ours, I was, sorry, it's the police, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so, we have 171 for the month, which is a high call volume for us. We're at almost 1,200 for the year. We'll probably, obviously, easily be around 1,700, which is gonna be up for us. A couple of things to look at is the PI accidents. Those are up a little bit. When you start looking at the sick person, those are typically a trouble breathing call, which can be related sometimes now to COVID. A lot of falls, we get a lot of fall calls. We don't charge people for going out on fall calls.
Right above that sick person, I noticed the psych, you got 10 calls for psych. What
That's,
do you do there and that?
That's typically a call for somebody that's talking about committing suicide or has quasi tried to commit suicide but really didn't obviously get the job done. Or looking for some attention, I guess. But psych calls or we'll get the call where, you know, little Johnny's going ballistic and he's going crazy in the house, he's tearing the house up, and the cops will go and then we'll stage and then they'll let us know whether or not we need to take this kid or this person to Dyer for a psych evaluation or something like that. That's typically what goes on.
Okay.
Also, Cliff is going to be, is actually setting us up the same type of graphic system that the police have right now, to where it gives you those cool pie graphs, and also, he's experimenting with our calls right now it shows trends on what time of day, what's the busiest time of day, what's the busiest time of week, where our most busiest calls are, what area. So you'll see a map of Cedar Lake, see all these dots, and you'll see a blend of where, you know, he's doing that right now. He's playing with it right now. He sent us over a
Prototype?
prototype of it to look at, and, like I said, it's pretty amazing that it'll be to the point where it'll be as transparent as the police. You'll be able to know exactly what percentages of everything, what time of day that the police are doing it. You'll be able to know as well as the fire and EMS here pretty soon. So he, you know, like I said, he's pretty amazing at that stuff. So that's working really well. I did spend Wednesday in court under my report to deal with a unsafe building in town and to help relocate the people that live in it, due to the fact that it's a very bad, inside of this house is a very bad living atmosphere. So we'll be going to court again. The judge is evicting them from that home, because it is absolutely horrible. If you guys don't know that, I'm actually the guy that does all the unsafe building investigations and inspections for the town. I do all the reports, I do all the inspections and stuff, and this is part of my job. the council asked me to do, I don't know, 5 years ago. So we tear down buildings, we tore down, I've done over 100 reports on unsafe buildings in town and houses, and we tore a good percentage of them down, like maybe 15-20%, so. And they're on the list.
Is this a rental or do they own it?
No, this is the owner of this particular house, yeah.
Wow, it's not salvageable, you have to tear it down, huh?
Yeah, it needs to be torn down, it's really bad inside, yeah. The living conditions are horrible. So. But just to let you know that that's also something we do with the fire department is, we're involved in that, and with the police department, we go out to these houses and try to help people, and sometimes it goes to the point where we have to help them.
Well, here's a quick question, now, who pays for that demolition?
The town does. The town any unsafe building is paid for by the town, but then the town liens the property. So when the property gets sold, the town gets reimbursed, or the town owns it. And the town has done that before. We have actually tore down an unsafe building, a few of them, that the owner said, well, you can just have it, and the town sold it and got their money back. But it's a burden for the beginning process, but at the end, it's, number one, you got a nice cleaned up lot, number two, the town gets their expenses reimbursed, so. It takes a while.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, Dick's report?
Yeah, Tim couldn't be here, so his report's attached, of course. So the detail hours, of course, is mostly Jack on that, 12 hours, Van Diver 8. Patrol hours was Van Diver 10, Zawinski 32. Training hours, you can see that 3 hours for Tim and Jack, and then 2 hours for Zawinski. There's miscellaneous hours for Tim and Jack. So you got a total of 88 hours for the month for the combined group.
At the bottom it says traffic hazard, what is?
Yeah, that's like,
A wreck or something, or a tree fell on the road?
it could be any of that. It's when we ask them, it's probably it can be a wreck or a utility issue.
And they just report out for it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that particular one was, I don't remember offhand.
No big deal,
But those are the two most common, things that Jack always comes out for, is either a crash or utility problem, and most of the time it's a utility problem.
Or fire.
Or structure fire.
Okay, not to change the subject, but have there been any incidents at the roundabout at all? Accidents at all?
There was,
I mean, I don't think we were going for a long time with nothing happening. but I
no, there's
just-
been nothing major. There was a minor fender bender.
Okay.
Pretty big pile of car parts there right now.
I was just curious.
Okay, going back to the VIPS report, guys, we are also planning with the expansion of the police and fire, is going to make the home for the VIPS as well, as far as getting their equipment under roof
Oh, that would be great.
and having a place for them to be, part of the
Yeah.
police and fire department facility as well. So we
They're
want to make sure all their stuff gets under roof, so we have enough bays to do that, so they got a place.
They're also doing some recruitment. They intended on having a tent set up tonight at the farmer's market to do a little bit of recruitment, but that was canceled due to weather, of course. It's pretty ugly. So they're gonna do that potentially at the next farmer's market.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? All right, I have to call for public comment 3 more
You
times.
have an individual that has their hand raised.
Okay. Sorry,
And fine.
this is new to us.
David, are you there? David, are you there?
Big question.
Someone that's
David, you have your hand raised. Please unmute your mic. Not sure on him.
Is he still connected?
Do you know his last name?
His last name is McDaniel.
David McDaniel?
David, can you hear us?
Oh,
You know that is.
Big friend of his.
Can you unmute your mic? Okay. We got nothing from David.
Well, October 27th, we can go.
Yeah, it still shows that his mic's muted, so I'm not sure what issue he's having, but he had raised his hand, but we're unable to dialogue with him. Are you there, David? Okay.
Is our speakers on?
It's working just fine.
Oh, is it?
yeah, we could hear,
Oh, Norm, that's right, yeah.
Public comment once. Public comment twice. Public comment 3 times. Being none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Motion from Dave, is there a second?
I'll second.
A second from Josh. Roll call vote, please.
Josh Gobert,
Yes.
Jim Multagh,
Yes.
Dave Villalobos,
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Our next meeting is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021, at 6 PM.